Good afternoon, students. This is the sixth and last part of the chapter Globalization and Indian Economy, class 10th, subject Social Science. Student, in this section, we will begin from page number 68, where we will address the negative impact of the globalization and liberalization on Indian people, especially the small producer and the workers. Hope you remember that in the previous section we discussed the positive impact of the globalization on the Indian people, especially the buyers from the well-off section of the society, the large producers as well as workers to certain extent who could get more job opportunity with the coming of MNCs and larger foreign investment from the multinational corporations. We discussed in the previous section that how buyers got benefited because of this liberalization policy and globalization policy. We discussed that the companies which made foreign trade and foreign investment after coming to our country, they invested in the section for which well-off section can be expected to be more interested, like production of cell phone, automobiles, soft drink, fast food, banking, and various other factors in which the well-off section could get the better section, the rich section could get the quality product with more choice and comparatively lower prices. We also discussed that the Indian producer also could get benefit when the government in 1991, government of India in 1991 removed the trade barrier and quota system to have more foreign trade and foreign investment. The idea was that once there will be hard competition, the Indian producer will try hard to improve the quality by bringing advanced technology and by bringing the kind of reform required under the pressure from the foreign competition. Exactly that happens, student, as a positive impact that our many of the Indian companies have improved a lot. Some of the companies have become the multinational itself, like Tata Motors, Infosys, Sundaram and Fasteners, and many others. Renbaxi, these were the companies. I don't remember all the names, but there are many names that you can go through. Student, some of the companies which were only providing the intermediary goods to big multinational company also became prosperous. More and more job opportunity created. However, this opportunity what was created was never along with the job security. So in the coming section, in this section, we will discuss about those negative impact about the globalization, there's negative impact of the globalization and liberalization, like what was the impact on the small producer. To help you understand, we have our heading given through the story, we have our new area, page number 68, given through the story of a producer, and we are wanting to give a message through this story that small producers are facing a very tough competition and it is very difficult for them to compete with the big multinational companies. Rather, now they have choice either to shut down whatever the production they are associated with, or they have to take more and more loan, or they have to bring the more better technology, but this seems to be a quite difficult task. Your story is about a person called Ravi, who is an industrialist who is producing capacitor in the Hosur area, Hosur district in the Tamil Nadu region. This person has taken a loan to produce the capacitor. Capacitor is a electronic component which is used in the home appliances, home electric appliances like television set or the tube light. So his business was going very good. He has employed 20 workers to work in the factory, but all of a sudden his life changed. In the 2001, under the WTO condition, when government decided to remove the trade barrier or the quota limit on the imports of capacitor, his life got very difficult because now capacitor started coming to India, which was much better in quality what was being produced in the Ravi's factory, as well as it was half of the prices. So now it was expected that buyer could have taken the capacitor from the imported from the imported category product. Indian product was not matching the standard of the imported goods, as well as neither it was matching the, or neither it was competing in the prices terms. So what happened that Ravi was not able to sell his selling of the product got decreased. He had to uh, cut short the workers. Now only 7 workers are working. Some of the companies which making the television, which were earlier taking the capacitor from the Ravi, now they also had the kind of pressure, because multinational companies producing television was also in India. So these companies have chosen to be the helping hand of these multinational companies by helping them to assemble their TV set, and that's how Ravi has left with no choice. Somehow he's managing to sell some of the capacitor. On the other side, some of the Ravi's friend has already decided to close their production unit. That is one of the negative side, giving a glimpse that though globalization and liberalization has brought many good advantages to the people of the well-off section of society, people from the industrial section, also workers with new job opportunity. But for the people in the small sector unit, the survival has become really difficult. Many of the small sector unit have closed down, stopped their work. As a result, student, with the closing of these small sector unit due to the high competition and high pressure from the multinational company, many workers who were working in these industries also became jobless. So now another point what we are going to address on the next page is about the tough life of the workers in the factories. That is, our next heading is competition and uncertain employment opportunity. Look, student, what happened that globalization, there is no doubt, has brought the pressure of competition on all the producer producing various product in India. Because there is a high competition, producers are under the pressure to find some margin of profit by reducing the cost of production. As a result, what they used to do, they are not wanting employer to be given employment for permanent basis. They are wanting only employment to be given whenever there is higher pressure of the work to be completed. Once the work pressure is over, they are wanting to ask these people to leave the work. That is what can be said, that now it has become a pressure for the workers to do some work. Various conditions are mentioned over here, that now workers who are, one of the example is shown along with the picture, that workers working in the garment export industry. It has been mentioned that work opportunity has been created. There is no doubt, student, that because of the coming of the foreign direct investment, because of the coming of the multinational company and making lot of investment, new factories have been established, various units have been established where the job opportunity have been created. But on the other side, these job opportunities are not offering the kind of job security which was expected at the same time. So what happened, that it is mentioned large MNC. Example is given that large MNC in the garment industry from Europe and USA has given order of producing and exporting the garments to the Europe and America to the Indian companies. Now Indian garment exporter has to make higher profit, because multinational company which itself want to make a profit will be giving very less margin to the Indian garment exporter. Now out of this less margin, Indian garment exporter, to ensure that it can make maximum possible profit, what it would be expected to do? It will be expected to do that it will offer minimum wages to the labor and will expect them to work longer hours. It will not give them any health benefit, no health insurance, no facilities other than the wages will be allowed. The day the worker will not be working, they will be not given any wages, and there will be condition also that any time when there will be less work opportunity within the company or the under the work of the exporter, the workers will be expected to leave the job. So that's how now workers' life is quite insecure. There is another box within this box where the story of a lady, Sushila, has been mentioned. This lady has been working as a permanent worker in a garment industry, in a garment export industry. Her job is fixed. She is supposed to get provident fund. She has been given a limited working hours, various other facilities what you have studied in chapter sectors of Indian economy in the organized sectors are also assured to her. But after coming of the competition, this factory has closed down, and after closing down she has become unemployed. Somehow, after remaining unemployed for 6 months, she could manage to get a new job, which is now not closer to her house, rather 35 kilometers away, for which she need to go. She need to make extra. She need to take extra hard work to go to such a distant place. She works from 7:30 in the morning till 10 p.m. She is being paid less than what she was making earlier, what she was earning earlier. There is no other facility like provident fund or health insurance, etc. She is also not considered as a permanent employee. She is considered to be temporary. So you can say that from organized sector, the facilities of organized sector what she was getting, she has been shifted to the unorganized sector. And this example itself give you that the kind of globalization and liberalization, the kind of globalization and liberalization brought pressure over the Indian small scale units, small scale manufacturing sectors, as well as on the workers. Their condition have become miserable. Student, moving to the next section in the last page of this chapter, that is page number 69, that how the struggle for a fair globalization has to be done. Look, we must understand that now globalization is a reality. We cannot say that we can be removing or we can be going back from the era of globalization what has been from last 30 years existing in our country. We cannot go back to the era of trade barrier or bringing back the quota system. That is impossible. So now our effort should be that how we can make it more and more fair. We are knowing that the globalization has brought the benefit to the certain section of society, but not for everyone. It is not beneficial for every section. We have discussed that it is not beneficial for the small scale unit because they have the problem of either competing with the big companies, which is quite difficult, or in other words you can say which is literally impossible task for them under the resources what they have. And second, that if they are not going to compete, they are going to perish. Second, that the workers, those who are not getting the kind of assurance that we call job security, what our government expect. There are no labor laws. We have discussed in the step to attract foreign investment section that government itself is making the flexible labor laws just to appease these multinational companies, so that more and more multinational company can come over here and can invest the money, so that job opportunity for our unemployed section can be created. So what can be done so that our globalization can become fair? To make the globalization fair, what is required? To make the globalization fair, what is required? That our government should come up with various conditions so that it can take care of of all the people, take care the interest of all the section of the society. Student, in this regard I would like to tell you that government can ensure that whatever labor laws has been accepted between the multinational companies to convince them that they are going to have their factories over here in India, that should be implemented honestly. Number one. Student, next point, it is mentioned over here that taxation, progressive taxation policy should be brought. Look, we are very clear that there is a section in our country which has been benefited by the bringing of the globalization and liberalization in our country. So these people who are making good earning, who are making the good benefit from this system of liberalization and globalization, the well-off section of the society, the rich industrialist class, should be imposed with a higher tax, and that tax amount should be used for the benefit of the poor section of society by providing them better education, better training, better medical care, so that they can become a resourceful person, and they are going to get the benefit of globalization and liberalization. Government apart should also do one thing, that they should make more foreign trade and foreign investment in a matter that if in certain product the interest of local people are getting affected, they should not be hesitating themselves. Government should not hesitate to put the trade barrier or quota again on some of the goods. What is required, in which area it is required to take the interest of people into consideration. That is another aspect. And last, that in our country there are various organizations, various people's movement are initiated to pressurize the government that if globalization is taking place, if liberalization has been initiated, government should pressurize through WTO to the developed countries that their set of rules and regulation in the WTO to be obeyed, to be followed honestly by the developed country also. Students, I have left certain portion, that is let's work these out section between page number 68 and page number 70 for you to solve it yourself, and your NCERT questions also. We have completed this chapter. I have made your point clear that how globalization has affected our life. Its impact has been mixed. For certain section it is very good. Which section? Those who are educated, those who are skilled, those who are able to get the higher job meant for educated and skilled professional, they have definitely made a very good growth. But there are uneducated, unskilled section, those who are working as a laborer, their job situation has become much worse. That is how our government need to do some corrective measures after having understood that WTO need to be made more accountable. WTO need to be made in a state that it should be pressurizing the developed countries also to make the fair rules. If these developed countries are expecting something to be followed by the underdeveloped and developing countries, these developed countries should also follow the same rules and norms. So student, I am completing this chapter. Further, we will not be moving ahead with the next chapter, consumer right, because that is a chapter for the project work. It is not the right time for the project activities to be taken. We shall start from the democratic politics. Our first chapter will be power sharing. Thank you, student.